Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. And let's just take a moment and just take a look at this problem. Sometimes I like to just focus and just look at the problem and just take everything into account and size it up and whatnot before I even get started, right? And, oh, another thing. Shout out to Hillman College. This was a fictional, historically black college located in Virginia. The television show A Different World with a lot of very important characters from the 90s and the 80s were featured in this program, A Different World, which made a lot of us want to go to college, which made a lot of us want to attend historically black colleges or universities. Namely, there was a brother named Dwayne Wayne, who was an engineering major, young brother from Brooklyn. He wore Jordans, so that kind of was different because it kind of made math seem cool. He was an engineering major, so we need to create some of our own television programming where we can feature black people doing stuff like that. We can't wait for nobody else to do it. And we shouldn't even complain that they didn't make this or they didn't do that or why don't they make this. We got to just take that out of our vocabulary. We got to create our own. But I want to pay homage to them, so that's why I got this sweatshirt. I've worn it in some other videos. You probably saw that before. If you subscribe to the channel, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. All right, but today we're dealing with an arithmetic sequence problem, right? We're given a list of numbers, and we got to figure some things out. Number one, what's the common difference? All right, if you're dealing with arithmetic sequence. And actually, before we even get into the problem, we first should talk about the difference between arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence. So there's arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence. There's some other types of sequences, but those are the main two, the most popular ones that you'll see, right? So also, what's the next term going to be? If this is your list of terms, what's the next term going to be? How do you figure that out, right? And also, we're going to find a sub 25. Sub 25, sub is short for subscript. Subscript is when a number is written like to the bottom right corner of a variable, as opposed to a superscript, like how Superman flies through the air and whatnot, right? A superscript is like written how an exponent is written to the upper right corner, like it's almost like flying in the air in relation to the base, which in this case would be A. All right, so a sub 25 means we're looking for the 25th number, right? The 25th number. Now, we can use this formula right here to figure out what the 25th number is. And this is actually an easier method of figuring out what the 25th number in this sequence is, just like if we wanted to find out the 100th number or the 30 or the 389th number. Otherwise, we'd have to figure out what the pattern is and then just keep counting and counting and counting and counting by hand. So I want you to understand that, because you should really understand that when you're given formulas like this is not a punishment, right? This is meant to make your life easier. Because like I just said, if we was trying to figure out what the 389th number in this sequence was, you would have, if you didn't know a formula like this, you'd have no other choice but to sit there and just say, okay, well, the pattern, okay, I see they going by fives, right? Every number is increasing by 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. So that means you might have to sit up there and keep adding 5 over and over and over again until you get to the 389th number. Don't nobody got time for all that. Don't nobody got time for all that. That's why we use algebra. That's why we use formulas. So a lot of us, I definitely think if you're watching this video, you should reorient yourself toward thinking that, formulas and equations and whatnot, they're actually a shortcut. They're actually a gift. They actually do make life easier. Similar to multiplication. Like when you was young, you might have thought, okay, I'm learning my addition facts. Oh, now they're going to hit me with multiplication. Oh, multiplication is hard. But understand, multiplication is just repeated addition. That's all multiplication is. 5 times 7, right? That means you're writing 5 7 times or 7 5 times. If you don't learn your multiplication facts and know that 5 times 7 is 35, what's your other option? You're going to sit up there and add 5 over and over again. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. You don't want to have to do that. You don't have time for all that. That's why you learn your multiplication facts. but it's important to learn your addition facts so you can understand the foundation of that type of math, right? So I say all this to say, don't look at the next step or the next phase of mathematics as a punishment, as something that's more difficult. It's actually a gift because it's really a shortcut when you consider what you could have to do if you didn't have that option. All right. Now let's get back to this, right? I kind of addressed some of these answers already. Now the common difference, oh, let me backtrack. I'm all over the place. My bad. I said we was going to talk about the difference between the arithmetic sequence and geometric. Now, an arithmetic sequence means that you have a sequence of numbers that follow a pattern, and the difference between each numbers is constant, or the difference between each number is constant. So there's 3 plus 5 gives you 8. 8 plus 5 gives you 13. 13 plus 5 gives you 18. 18 plus 5 gives you 23. That's a constant value. 5 every time. Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. That's a common difference. That's what these different pairs of numbers have in common. That's why it's called a common difference. And that's the difference between these numbers. The difference between these numbers, 3 and 8 is 5. 8 and 13 is 5. 13 and 18 is 5. 18 and 23 is 5. Now, with a geometric sequence, you have something called a common ratio. The common ratio is basically a factor that each number gets multiplied by to get to the next one. So you might have a sequence like 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. What's happening? Every number is getting multiplied by 2, or every number is getting doubled. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. 48 times 2 is 96, and so on and so forth, right? That's geometric. We're not dealing with geometric right now. We're dealing with arithmetic. So arithmetic, think common difference. When you see problems on this channel or in class on geometric sequence, think common ratio. There's a common ratio or a factor that each number is being multiplied by in order to get to the next number. All right. But for now, we're dealing with arithmetic sequence. So what's our common difference? We already talked about that, right? I already said it a couple times. The common difference is 5. So we're going to say D is equal to 5, right? Now, what's the next term? Now, we know the common difference is 5. So we don't even have to use this formula to figure out what the next term is. We just do 23 plus 5, which is 28. That's the next term. Or that would be a sub 6, because this is a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, a sub 5. This subscript number tells you what order, what place the number holds in the order. What place does it hold in the order? This is in first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place. All right. So that's why this would be a sub 6, because 28 would be the 6th number in the sequence. Now find a sub 25. Now I'm not about, like I told you already, I'm not about to sit up here and keep adding 5s, right, until I get to the 25th number. We ain't about to do all that. But what we can do is use this formula, and this is called the explicit formula. Now, there's another formula that we refer to as the recursive formula, but we're not using that right now, so I didn't even bother to write that up here. But the explicit formula says a sub n, and n represents the number that you're looking for, the location, I should say, the location, that's the word. N represents the location of the number that you're looking for. So we're looking for the number in the 25th place, right? Like this number is in the first place. That's why it's a sub 1. This number is in the second place. That's why it's a sub 2. This number is in the third place. That's why it's a sub 3. That's the location. This little subscript gives you the location of that number in the order of all the numbers. So we got a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d, which is the common difference, times the quantity, don't say parentheses, say times the quantity of n minus 1. So if we want to find a sub 25, we first got to just identify what our values are. So we're going to change a sub n to a sub 25, write your equal sign. What's a sub 1? A sub 1 is 3. So in this formula, we're going to replace a sub 1 with the number 3, because this is the first number. A sub 1 is the first number, which is 3. Then you put your plus sign. Then you put your d. What's d? In this problem, our common difference is d, and in this problem is 5. So then you put your 5, and then you put your parentheses, and then you do n minus 1. Now again, n it's still 25. It was 25 in the beginning. It's still 25 now. So we got 25 minus 1. Now for this problem, all we doing now is basically order of operations. That's all we doing, just order of operations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a sub 25 is equal to 3 plus 5 times. I could have distributed, but I'm like, nah, I'm going to just work out everything inside the parentheses, do the 25 minus 1, get the 24. That's what I'm going to do. I put the 24 in there, and then I'm going to do a sub 25 is equal to 3 plus, and then I'm going to do the multiplication. As tempted as you may be, you got to stay committed and disciplined. See, math teaches discipline, because a lot of people will sit up here and they want it. You really, really bad. You want to do 3 plus 5 so bad because you're so used to working from left to right. But that would be wrong, because you got to stay loyal to the order of operations. You got to multiply before you do the addition. So as bad as you may want to do 3 plus 5 and write 8 and then multiply that by 24, don't do it. Don't do it. Remember that. That's why I'm trying to be explicit, because it's a very common error. And I understand, I get it, because you're so used to working from left to right. I know we all get tempted sometimes, but nah, stay loyal to the order of operations and good things will happen. So now we do 5 times 24. So 5 times 20 is going to be 100. 5 times 4 is 20, so that's 120. See, I just used the distributive property just now. I broke this 24 down into 20 plus 4, right? And then I did 5 times each of those numbers. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 4 is 20. 100 plus 20 is 120. That's a real cool math trick, right? And you could do that with any type of multiplication problem, right? 5 times 24 gives me 120. Now, only thing left to do is do the addition. A sub 25 is equal to 123. So the 25th number in this sequence would be 123. All right. So that's just a little bit about arithmetic sequence, and just to get you started in that, how to identify the common difference, how to figure out what the next term is based on using the common difference, and even finding a number that's way down the line in the sequence, the 25th number. Like I said, if we wanted to find like the 350th number or the 1000th number, like we could use the same formula. We're going to use the same formula. All right. And remember, the formulas are your friends. The formulas are not here to make your life more difficult. The formulas are here to make life easier. Don't believe the hype. Don't fall for the okie doke. Think, oh, it's all these variables. Oh my God. Nah, don't fall for that. Because think about the alternative. Let's say we wanted to find the 1000th number in this sequence. You really gonna sit up here and keep adding 5 till you get to the 1000th number? Like I said already, don't nobody got time for all that. Use the formula. This formula is your friend. And it ain't even hard for real. All you gotta do is say, okay, what's a sub 1? That's the first number. That's why that 1 is right there. What's D? That's the common difference. That's the first thing you recognize when you see a pattern, right? And then n minus 1. N is the same thing as what you started with. So if we was looking for the 1000th number, n would just be 1000. And we'd have a sub 1000 right there. All right. So that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up. If you can find some old episodes of A Different World, I definitely recommend you go watch them. It was a quality show. All right. Now, it shows you how to do this problem. Now, go get some practice so you can master this and become proficient at it. Arithmetic sequences. Stay tuned for some videos on geometric sequences. Peace.